Okay, I'm moving on to freezer meal meatloaf, and this is my recipe for meatloaf. You can surely use your own, but this has been tried and true, and everybody loves it. So I'm doing this a little bit different. Instead of putting my hamburger in my freezer bag already, I'm using our batter bowl just so I can mix it a little better instead of kneading the bag. And then there's going to be a different twist to how I will freeze these at the end, which I'll show you. So I'm using our Flex Plus. This has 3 pieces to it, but I'm using the food processor part today. And I went ahead and put in some of my Ritz crackers. Y'all see how fine that shreds them up? Just to speed up the video so you didn't have to watch me shred the whole pack. But the recipe that I use does call for a whole stack of Ritz crackers. So I'm going to put the other handful of Ritz crackers in there. The Flex Plus has a safety feature, which is a cutoff in 5 seconds. If you haven't used it, it automatically cuts off. So I have to press this, and then I'm going to put it on high for my shreds. How easy is that? So the recipe I'm using also calls for a medium potato. So I do not peel my potato. I wash it and let it dry. I think God gave us that peeling on that potato for a reason. So I like to eat it, and I think that's where most of the nutrition is at. So I'm just going to cut it in some little wedges, and I'm going to process it right along with my Ritz crackers. So again, this is a food pusher. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to press my safety button and then let it go. Put in my other pieces. Done, ladies. So that is a time saver if you're doing a lot of prep work or a lot of freezer meals. You can get so much done quickly in the Flex Plus set. The battery, I love it that it's cordless. It's battery operated, and this battery lasts a long time, but you do get 2 batteries with it. This one brain, I call it, works all 3 of the appliances: the hand mixer, the immersion blender, and the food processor. It also comes with different blades. So today, there's a little bit of that peeling that it didn't want me to have. So today I was using the fine grater. You can flip this upside down if you want coarse grains. It also comes with, let me move this, y'all. It also comes with a slicing blade too. But I want you to see how it's shredded. Can y'all see those potato shreds? So in the meatloaf mixture, now I can just add this right in. And then I'll show you what else I do. And I probably won't make you stay on the whole time, although I could, to let you watch me assemble mine, because I'm going to do my meatloaf in individual patties, because I like to cook my meatloaf in the brownie pan. Now you can definitely freeze this meatloaf mixture whole and cook it in any cooking device of your choice. I usually, if I'm going to cook it in a loaf, I'll use our stone loaf pan. But I love cooking it in the brownie pan because I get 4 crispy edges of goodness in every piece. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. All right, the other ingredients that's called for in my meatloaf recipe is eggs, salt, soy sauce. You can also do a small onion, and I do have onion, but I always have taken a shortcut since I have tried Pampered Chef's 3 onion. Y'all, you don't need to cut up an onion unless you really want to when you've got this 3 onion. And if you have picky eaters who think they don't like onion, this is a great way to give you that onion flavor, but to disguise it from them. Of course, in that food processor, it would have mixed it up very fine too. So this is our tablespoon set. I like using the ones that have the different slide that you can measure different ones, but I love using these two. It has a lot of unusual sizes that are typically not in measuring spoons. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've got it sitting right here on the counter. They got a flat bottom, and I've got a teaspoon of salt, and they're long. The handles are long, so they'll reach down very, very easy in a jar. Okay, now I'll put in my 2 eggs. And that is it for my meatloaf mixture. So now I'll show you, and again, you could have done this right in your freezer bag if you wanted to, and then just mix it up. Oh, y'all, I forgot my soy sauce. I got 2 ounces of soy sauce. This is our mini easy read measuring cup. You can easily read the measure markings from the top. It's got tablespoons, ounces, and cups, up to 1/4 cup on the mini. Okay, so again, you could have easily done this in your freezer bag and mashed it and kind of got it all mixed up in your bag and ready to freeze. And even if you're going to cook it in your brownie pan, you can still do it that way. And when it's thawed, just use the large stainless scoop and scoop out some mixture into each well of the brownie pan. But today I'm showing you a bonus, a feature that I like to use. And I call it a bonus because when I do my hamburgers, I go ahead and buy a lot, especially when hamburgers on sale in the big packages. You know, the larger the package, usually the lower the price per pound. So when I buy a lot of hamburger, I'll go ahead and mix up some Chipotle burgers, some 3 onion burgers. Y'all, let me get a napkin. Okay, Chipotle burgers, 3 onion burgers. Some of them I do with smoky barbecue. I make different patties, and I have them frozen, so when we're ready to cook hamburgers on the grill or inside in the frying pan, I do a really good one that is thin, and it's like a steak burger, and I use our steak seasoning for that one. Okay, so I think I've got that mixed up enough, and again, at this point, you could go straight to your freezer bag that you have, or if not already, it could have been in your freezer bag. But again, I am going to use the brownie pan to cook mine, so that's why I want to show you what next step that I do. Get some of this mess out of my way. Okay. So I have our burger and press, which is what I use all the time when I buy that hamburger I was just telling you about in bulk. And I go ahead and patty it out and have it ready. The girls or myself just have burgers ready of different flavors anytime in the freezer. Now the burger is called a burger slider and press. And the slider feature comes from this insert. So you can make the little slider size burgers, or you can take that out and make full size burgers. The handle that you press the meat, the small end, will be for the slider size. The large size will press your patties up to a 1/2 pound burger if you want them that big. It will press those bigger ones. But today, I'm using the slider, which is also great to make hamburgers and stuff, or those little rolls that you can make sometimes with different mixtures. So I won't do them all, but I'll just do one and show you. And what I do is take our large stainless scoop, which is equal to 3 tablespoons, and I do a big heaping serving. And sometimes I do a little more than that. But then I use wax paper just to make it easy. That's why I wanted to go get a napkin. And I've got a big piece of wax paper so I can fold it over, because after I press a lot, the meat wants to stick. So you could spritz it with olive oil, or if your burgers are coated in a good seasoning salt, it typically does not stick. Because this is a wet meatloaf mixture, I like to use the wax paper so it doesn't stick. So now I'm just pressing this down, just that simple. And I want y'all to see, y'all see that patty? Got a nice little slider patty if I were doing hamburger sliders. But today I'm doing meatloaf. So I want to show you how they fit just perfect right in your brownie pan. So again, I won't keep you guys on to do all of them, But I will make those 12 patties if I don't cook this tonight, and I may, because it's making me want meatloaf tonight. But typically when I'm doing a freezer meal, I don't put them in the brownie pan. I just have another piece of wax paper on a cookie sheet or a baking tray, and I lay each patty out individually and do a flash freeze, which is just basically sitting that whole pan in your freezer just long enough for them to get a little firm and not stick together. And then I will put them all in a freezer bag or one of our glass leak-proof containers, so they're all separate. So again, I won't keep you on for all of that, but just a handy tip for the Burger and Press. When I'm doing a meatloaf for freezer meals, I usually do 3 at a time. One for me, one for each of my daughters. And then I'll also have a lot of hamburger, and then I make the full-size burgers and have those ready for our freezer. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying these freezer meals. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.